Courses in the cement industry. Present to you. In this topic, we will discuss dismantling procedure, how change. Bearing and seal, of Wayfeeder Pfister, DRW. Course 2. Some pictures from the site during repair Pfister Rotor DRW. See this video from the site during repair Pfister DRW. Pfister Rotor DRW, drive shaft sealing. First indication for a damaged shaft sealing is a layer of coal at the bottom area, right underneath this 2 inspection holes. To prevent a damage at the shaft bearing, the sealing has to be replaced as soon as possible. Dismantling the Pfister rotor. To save the weighing device, use this nut to lift the upper part of the housing, slightly up and lock it up, with the top one ladder on. Look out. Make sure this hook is free of load. Dismantling course. Firstly, remove these bolts. Take this blowpipe out completely. Depending on the type, to shift the lower part out of the frame, the existing rollers, left, or provided as an accessory. In this step, unscrew, and remove these screws. Disconnect the electrical cables, remove the rest of the bolts, and lower it down. Affix such 3 lifting jacks to upper cup. Couple it with hauling lugs. Fix these legs, bring the lower cup down. Remove these diagonal crossbars from frame. In this step, it is shown in the pictures. Hook this eye bolt up, later lift. Reference marking would be recommended. Fix such eye bolt at center. In this step, it is shown in the pictures. After taking it off, inspect the rotor shaft, bottom sealing plate, other internal parts. In this step, remove the switch disc for the synchronous sensor. In this step, securing the speed reducer by placing linings below it before starting the dismantling process. Look after for a safety of gearbox. In this step, we begin to disassemble the speed reducer carefully. Proceed to unscrew the gearbox, ensure it is safe after getting free. After disassembling the speed reducer, must take it down from the bottom cup. Mark the position for your own convenience. This illustration shows the components of the shaft and the sealing. Shaft. Observe the direction of seal rings, position of lubrication ring. Bearing. Shaft seal. Bearing lubrication. Seal lubrication. Teflon seal. Action courses for taking shaft out. Unscrew shaft safety disc, take it out. In this picture, work is done. Screwing an eye-bolt in the M20, tapped hole at the end of shaft, makes it an easy to take this shaft out. However, it would be advisable to mark the reference point so as to put it back in the system. Use a crane if possible. Action courses for taking sealing, bearing out. Disconnect the lubricating pipes. In this picture, after removing these bolts, by using such bolts M24, pulling screws. In this step, make temporary arrangement to pull out the rotor hub. In this step, unscrew the seal rings so as to observe them. In this step, lift it up or apply screw jacks to take it out. In this step, remove this circlip. In this step, also remove this lock washer. In this step, clean the bush, oil it up slightly and get this lock washer back on again. In this step, additional mechanism can be used for pulling the rings out. In this step, put the new sealing rings in. Take care to have this lubrication ring on the right position. In this step, before you get the lock ring back here, be sure to have the safety ring in. In this step, fill it evenly with grease. In this step, check this O-rings, replace them if necessary, and grease it up slightly. In this step, unscrew the bearing cover, clean the sealing ring, check and replace them, if damaged. Action courses for taking shaft out. In this step, remove bearing and sealing ring, clear, check and replace them if damaged. In this step, when fastening the bearing cover, adjust the setting screws to a height of 110 mm. The bearing should be filled, about 2 or 3 with grease. Fill also the space between sealing rings and bearing with grease. In this step, take care to have the dedusting openings in the right position. In this step, check the pipes grease and connect the lubricating pipes. Action course to take off the bottom sealing plate. In this step, unscrew the lower sealing plate. In this step, clean the housing from curl. In this step, lift up the lower sealing plate with the help of such eye bolt. In this step, put on the housing new curl. In this step, put down the new, or remachined lower sealing plate. Tighten the screw with a torque wrench up to 70 nanometers. Reassemble in the opposite way, with the recommended gaps. Thank you for watching, and I hope these courses are helpful to everyone. Subscribing to this channel Cement Industry Courses would be appreciated. Thank you.